Om Shri Sai Ram. Welcome to this special edition of what I have been inspired to call it as the Chalisa. So, we're going to do this for 40 days. Thought was given to me of 40 days. I read about it and I believe that this 40 days has a great significance. Be it Hinduism, we know about the Hanuman Chalisa and the Chalisa for a lot of the gods and goddesses. I believe 40 days has a great significance in almost every religion in the world, be it Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Sikhism, Jainism, and you name it. I kept reading, and there is actually so much written on the importance of a 40-day period. It's no coincidence that it is 1st of November. Good day to make a beginning, and it is the month of Kartik. Again, very auspicious, they say. Amongst all the 12 months in a year, the month of Kartika is a month for spiritual salvation. So we have heeded to the call that came. I'm sure the universe is going to support us so that we are able to do this. And whoever is meant to attend will attend. And let's see how it turns out, what it is going to be, why it has come, and what it brings for all of us. So with that beautiful sense of anticipation, we start this beautiful journey for the next 40 days. So we start today with from the beginning itself, and I want to take you right down to the steps that we are following in this journey, and each one of us have to figure out for ourselves where we are at this point of time. This kind of an evaluation is important, but also what's important is that since we are doing this 40-day special session, to first start from the very beginning. And so therefore, I thought that the best way to begin is to look at and maybe read through that small booklet that I was inspired by Baba a few years back, when he inspired me that we need to do something which is very simple, illustrative, which talks about self-realization, which talks about Chit Ananda. And I presented a small booklet called Chit Ananda, 9 Steps to Divinity. And the reason I'm sharing it at the start of this 40 days special Parayanam that we are going to be doing, or this 40 days of festival, or this 40 days of fasting, or this 40 days of spiritual cleansing, or these 40 days for spiritual enlightenment, or these 40 days to realizing our true self. It depends upon each one of us how we want to take this. It depends upon how much seriousness we are going to bestow to this. It depends upon ultimately how we want these 40 days to be for us. So I leave it to each one of you and to what your desire, the innermost desire in your heart is. And I can only pray that whatever is your desire, what is it that you're seeking, may it be fulfilled. If for these 40 days we are able to completely marinate, ruminate, and stay in this spiritual festival of self-realization. So the dates, the times, everything has been picked up as usual by the consciousness. We did not decide anything. It just is falling into place, and I can experience, I can see it, I can visualize it. I know it's happening for a very beautiful reason. A big congratulations to all of you who have chosen to be here on this first day, and let's see how many of us last all through. I'm sure we'll be tested and challenged. That's how consciousness plays. Right. So I'm going to share with you this. I'm going to read through this booklet. I think many of you would have it. Because I think I distributed to everyone. This is my last copy now. I think I got about 1,000, printed. So all of them are gone, and who knows, we might get this printed again. As I said, this book is called Chit Ananda, 9 Steps to Divinity, and it's a simple guide for all seekers on the journey of self-realization. So there are 9 steps to this journey. We've spoken about it many times in our satsangs, in our sessions earlier. I'm just going to bring it back into your awareness, and it would help in these 40 days if each one of you can keep a notebook with you, make your notes, and whatever you would like to do with it, because it's important that we will be covering a lot of topics. We'll be going through the whole process, and all the questions that you have in your mind, which we noted yesterday, and many more questions will come. I hope all of them will get answered in these 40 days. I have not charted out what's going to happen on each day, but I have a very good feeling that it's going to just turn out to be as it is meant to be, because in any case, we don't do anything ourselves. We are surrendered to the consciousness, and it is the will of the consciousness that we will follow. The first step is called lamenting. Some of the questions that come to each one of us on this journey, and some of the questions that each one of us have had, and these are the questions that came to me, and I put these questions together. When you feel that something is not right in your life, when something is missing and you don't know what it is, when you feel a great void or emptiness in the midst of both success and failure, when you feel restless in your mind, when the pleasures of the world don't give you lasting peace and happiness, when everything appears so artificial and unreal. And I may add one or two more questions, which though are not there in the book. When you feel that everything is going around me, it's falling away, when everything seems to be disintegrating, when it feels that all problems are chasing me, when it feels that all hell has broken loose, when it feels, why am I being targeted by the universal consciousness? Why everything one after the other seems to be going wrong? Everything seems to be scattering. So those are the questions I'm adding to this. It's a lament. Why me? When all these questions confront us, know that you have taken the first step to understanding your true self, or who you truly are. And this kind of lamenting has happened with each one of us. And that is why we chose this path. That is why we chose to get into the path of seeking some answers. Because these questions at some point of time in our life have come to us. To some of us, they are still coming, and to some of us, they continue to come time and time again. And this kind of a lamenting does happen to each one of us. And that, to my mind, is a very important step, where it's a pre-stage to the stage of seeking. It's a time when we start lamenting. And therefore, it leads to the second stage, which is the stage of yearning or seeking. Because this creates automatically, because we are experiencing this, we start to seek something which is missing. And therefore, some of the questions that come to us are, when you experience an unknown voice calling you, when you crave for authenticity, when the heart pines to know the cause of melancholy, the sadness in our heart, when the baffled mind yearns to know the missing link, when you seek the source of everlasting happiness, when the pursuit of truth about yourself becomes an obsession, know that you have progressed further. So lamenting leads naturally to us to a stage of yearning, where we don't know why things are happening to us, but yet we want to know, we want to find out the answers, and therefore we start seeking it. And this, we have spoken many times in the past, is a very important step. Because, for example, today we are 8 of us on this call. Usually on Saturdays, we are anywhere between 15 to 20, 25. Why in a group of 80 or 90 do only 8 or 20 appear? It's because these are the yearners. These are the seekers. For a lot of us, seeking happens intermittently. We face challenges. We face the blows of life, or we have serious spiritual questions or a pursuit, and we come in, we get a few answers, we feel satisfied, and then we go into our routine, our ignorance, our sleep mode once again. And then after some years, we again surface back, or after some time, we surface back. And that has been for all of us till we became earnest spiritual seekers. All of us have gone through that phase where, you yearn, and then something comes in, you get a few answers, or you think you have got some answers, you feel happy about it, and you go back to your merry ways till something else happens. And this is the part of the awakening process. It's a part of preparing us. So it happens to each one of us. So the one who really yearns with all heart and soul, with a single-minded dedication, clearly is the one who gets it. Seek and ye shall get. We have talked about that many times. So this seeking is a fundamental and essential reason why there are some who make it. Baba used to say this, that there are millions who come to me, but I can count on the fingers of my hand, one hand, of those who will get it, or those who really seek me. So there has always been just a few who have chosen to go the whole way. The others get either distracted or become happy with whatever little trinkets they find on the way. And therefore, they are, for some reason or the other, unable to go the full way. And for that Arjuna, there is always going to be a Krishna. And what is required is the devotion of an Arjuna, or that of a Nachiketa, or of all those who went on to realize themselves because their yearning was so strong. And therefore, when this yearning becomes so strong, the third step automatically happens, which is when the Guru arrives. The intense seeking of the truth attracts the Guru, or the wise one. He brings the light of the self and removes the darkness of ignorance. The Guru is the embodiment of love and wisdom. The Guru inspires, guides, and guards us on the path of the truth of the self. The authenticity and simplicity of the Guru draws us to him. The attraction is almost instant and magical. You experience an intense personal bond with your Guru. Despite your vulnerability, you feel safe and secure in the Guru's presence. This is the stage when you are now ready to follow the Guru's message. So this bond, it is we who seek the God, and the God comes to us in the form of a Guru. And this Guru is always waiting for the disciple to get ready. And it's the intense yearning of the disciple that brings this Guru. And in the presence of the Guru, we are willing to expose our vulnerabilities, our weaknesses, because we feel safe with our Guru. And we start developing faith in the Guru, and this faith is so essential in this journey, because that gives us the courage to go into an unexplored area or an uncharted territory. So once the Guru arrives in our lives, we move on to the next stage, which is regarding the message that the Guru brings. Because any master is just an embodiment of, but that wisdom comes in the form of a message. And it is this message that is of primary importance. It is this message which removes the darkness of ignorance. It is the message which makes a Guru as a Guru. And it is the message that has the capacity to transform us. And it is this message that has brought the Guru. The Guru comes in only as a messenger. It's a messenger of consciousness to bring us that which is going to liberate us. And therefore, this message is what we have been waiting for. And we are willing to receive this message from the Guru, because remember, by now we have built some kind of a relationship. We love the presence of this Guru, and therefore we are willing to listen to this Guru, because the message is available everywhere else as well. We want to listen only to our Guru. So what's the message? The Guru arrives as a redeemer and brings the message of truth. The truth about the reality of our self, creation, and the Creator. That the same one divinity of the Creator pervades the entire creation. That the individual self is none other than the manifestation of that divinity. Man is verily divine, or God, Tattvam, Asi. All things created are perishable, impermanent, and subject to change. They are meant for our enjoyment, but they do not belong to us. Use and enjoy them without getting attached to them. Only the divine self is changeless, permanent, and eternal. This truth of ourself is referred to as Sat in the Vedas. Listening attentively to the message of the Guru is what is called as Shravanam. Now, this message is the crux of our human experience. This is what is our truth. This is what we are seeking. This is the message that is brought into our life, and it takes us such a long time to get serious about this message and then to seek this message and to move towards this message and to try and imbibe this message, to try and live this message, to experience it firsthand and to become one with this message. So therefore, this message is what it is all about. And as I said, the message must be brought into our lives by our Guru, because it is the Guru who is the chosen one, who is the representative of God, who connects us to this truth, who connects us to this light within ourselves, who connects us to the divinity, who brings us close to the very reason for our existence. So this is the message of the Guru. And then this message takes us to the next step, because we listen to this message. But what do we do with this message is where the whole journey begins with. Actually, we have a rebirth. We actually start living, only once we start receiving this message, because before that it's a life of ignorance. When we awaken to this message, what we do with this message depends upon how we are going to progress, whether we are going to progress at all or not, because knowing about this message will do nothing for us. We will remain where we are. We may be more erudite, we may become more scholarly, we may be able to debate, we may be able to argue, we may be able to convince others about the message, but we will not become the messengers of this message ourselves, because this has just remained at an academic level. So the fifth step is the step of self-inquiry or manana. Our inherent divinity comes as a shock to our deeply conditioned mind. Doubts and questions arise in our mind and the inner dialogue starts. Because, we've been living a different life, and suddenly, the Guru says that you are divine and you are the creator and everything is inside of you. And when we are seeking it from outside, from a Guru. And so therefore this whole contradiction, starts to hit at us. And so the doubts and the questions arise and the inner dialogue starts. We begin to seek more clarity. How is it possible? So how do we seek this clarity? And this clarity comes to us. We use books of knowledge and inspiration, which we call as scriptures. We start studying these books by ourselves, whether we do, we read books from saints and sages like Yogananda, Swami Rama, Swami Chinmayananda, Satya Sai Baba. We start to seek more clarity by reading the work of these masters. And this self-study is called Swadhyaya. More study and reflection brings more clarity. And in the depths of silence, we contemplate on the divinity within. This stage is called Mananam or self-inquiry. Our hunger grows and we seek the company of like-minded persons. The company of seekers of truth or satsang helps us to overcome our doubts and confusion. We feel comforted that we are not alone in this quest of seeking truth. It emboldens us further and we discover a newfound courage to pursue the path less traveled. This is exactly what we are doing by coming together. We are in this constant state of satsang. We are seeking this truth and we are trying to overcome all the challenges we are facing on this path. We are clarifying our doubts. We are learning from each other's experiences, and we are getting more and more encouraged that we are not alone on this path less traveled, and that there are others around us. And this satsanga is bringing us a beautiful family of like-minded seekers. So this is stage number 5. This stage then once we've done, we get into a mode of self-inquiry or contemplation, and we start to go deeper into the teachings of these masters, go deeper into the truth of ourselves, and we start coming together, and we start getting, these gatherings make us more courageous, they give us more clarity, they bring us together, and they make our goal much more easier, because you know that there are many who are traveling together and everyone is helping each other out. So the path becomes not so strenuous. The path, you don't feel lost, you don't get disheartened. You know that there are so many others who are moving on to this. And therefore, that leads us to the next step, which is called experience. The teachings of the Guru and scriptures become synthesized and integrated in us. This is known as Nitidhyasana. It is the process of freeing the mind from the clutches of its conditioning or ignorance. We completely understand that the Lord of life is within us. However, knowledge can transform into wisdom only on the touchstone of direct experience, which is called Prataksha Praman or Prataksha Anubhava, direct experience. Truth of the self can be known only by putting into practice the teachings that have been listened, contemplated, and synthesized. It requires patience, self-confidence, and most importantly, faith in the Guru to walk the path of our truth. However, as we practice, all doubts vanish and wisdom dawns. Remember, the questions that we have are only till this stage, till we have not practiced it. But once we practice, we get direct evidence, we get direct experience, and all those questions start to go away. Till the time we are just, moving the idea in our mind, we will have doubts and questions. So therefore, there is nothing like direct experience. The inner Guru reveals itself. The darkness of ignorance is removed by the light of wisdom, and faith gives way to a deep sense of knowing. You seem to know or perceive things intuitively. I've spoken about this many, many times in our sessions, that faith is a starting point, because without faith, without the faith in your Guru, you will never move forward. We may be too scared to go on to the path less traveled. But when you have a faith in your Guru, your guide, you feel encouraged to take the right steps. And while you may have questions, and those questions may or may not get removed in Satsanga or in Swadhyaya, but still you move forward because of faith. And it's only while putting them into practice will you get the direct experience where you will get the answer to your own question. If you keep asking the questions to your Guru all the time, you are making your Guru into a crutch. You're making him into, you're getting addicted to the Guru. You're getting attached to the Guru. You're becoming lazy because you are not trying to see things your own self. And at a certain point of time, the Guru actually cuts those ties, cuts that attachment, because he or she knows that if that is not done, the disciple just becomes over-dependent on the Guru, is always trying to seek and get easy, ready-made answers. This path is of our own journey, and we have to, the Guru is always there around us. The Guru always surrounds us. The presence is always there. But each one of us has our own journey. We have to do it by our own selves. The Guru can't do it for us. Our spouses, our friends, our children can't do it for us. We all have come to do this ourselves. It is a do-it-yourself program. Cannot be outsourced, cannot be achieved on behalf of us by our Guru. Even if we spend millions and millions of dollars, it cannot be bought, because it is our own journey and we have to take the steps. So, direct experience. So if we do not practice the teachings, if we keep them at the self-inquiry level or a Shramanam level, and that's the reason why I keep saying, if you do not participate, if you will keep whatever your thoughts are on you, and if you will not discuss them, however you may think in your mind that you are progressing, to my mind, you will never progress, because there is a fear in you that stops you from sharing. There is a fear in you which stops you from, asking, and therefore, we may get something, but we will never get the full benefit of satsanga or the presence of the Guru. And therefore, it's imperative that the experiences are shared. And in that sharing, because we may be deriving some conclusions which actually may not be correct, which may be coming in the way of our progress. By sharing, we are making sure that if there is anything that we still need to understand, will come to us. So it's important for us to understand the path of Shravana, Manana, and Nitidhyasana, how they are the 3 steps of learning and gaining expertise in any field of knowledge, whether it is the knowledge of the self or whether it is knowledge of any other thing. This then takes us to the 7th step path towards experiencing our own divinity, and that is called realization. Our experience prompts and propels us further on the path of our innate divinity. The outside world loosens its grip on us and we experience intense detachment. Unexpected doors open and the direction of our life changes. Silence becomes golden and meditation becomes a friend. We start enjoying the journey of inner exploration. We experience a reservoir of love, light, and joy within. We spontaneously start sharing this treasure with others. Giving brings great joy. Selflessness makes us loving. As we become more loving, more people get attracted towards us. We discover the missing link and experience that the source of peace or Shanti is within us. We intuitively realize that it is the experience of the truth of our being. We are the divine consciousness that pervades and permeates the entire creation. Aham Brahma Asmi. So this is this point where we have a realization for the first time of ourself, of our true nature, Aham Brahma Asmi. And these are all the things which are indicators where we start experiencing this love, this joy, and this light within us, and where we start giving, where selflessness, brings that joy, and we start experiencing that first of the 2 indicators which tell us we have reached home, and that first one is called Shanti. Remember, we've spoken about these 4 steps: Satsang, Vichara, Shanti, and the 4th one we will talk about. So we've already spoken about Satsang, and we've talked about in the step of inquiry about Vichara or contemplation. So this realization, this experience of art tells us we are realizing ourselves, but it may not be a permanent experience. It may be something that we are experiencing and then we come in and out of it. Leads us to the 8th step, which is called awareness. Awareness is the key to transformation. The awareness of our divinity brings about radical changes in our life. Our thoughts, words, and actions get aligned, which is called as Trikaran Shuddhi. A life of authentic living starts. The melancholy in our heart ends. We clearly hear and understand the voice of our consciousness. The seeking ends and we feel complete. Our experience is a sense of newness. Now, or the present moment, is all that matters to us. We just want to be, no more goals to achieve. We feel contented, santosh, and satisfied at all times. So this is the 2nd indicator. One was peace and the other is contentment. You become aware that the body and all its experiences are temporary and unreal. All these experiences happen in our awareness, and awareness is nothing other than the Atman. We experience that the truth of ourself is none other than the Creator, and that this Creator is changeless and eternal. I am Atma Brahman. So these are the 4, if we've seen, we have spoken about the 4 universal truths in the journey towards experiencing Ananda. We remain in the awareness of this reality at all times, which is called as Chit Prajna. This constant integrated awareness is referred in our scriptures as Chit. So we've spoken about Sat, which is the truth of the self, and Chit is this constant integrated awareness. And the ninth step, therefore, is called Bliss. Life becomes a flow that is natural and spontaneous and effortless, saral and sahaj. We experience overwhelming love for all. Selfish living gives way to selfless living. Love becomes service. We experience that we are embodiments of love. We realize that this love is God and God is love. Living becomes joyous. This joy becomes a constant, and this constant, ever-present joy is the state of bliss or Ananda. So this journey of Sat Chit Anand, the knowing of this truth, experiencing it directly, remaining in the awareness of it, is what gives us this bliss, and life becomes a flow, and life becomes effortless. And everything else is a witness. All that is created by man is all impermanent, transient and temporary, and therefore we remain as a witness which is ever present, which is also witnessing the mind, which is also witnessing the shenanigans of the mind, and is therefore not involved with it. And this joy or this awareness at all points of time brings us this kind of a joy, and this joy is called Ananda. And the book ends with a simple prayer: may you revel in your divinity and experience the same divinity in every being and everything in creation. So not only should I experience my own divinity, but once I do that, I will experience the divinity in every being and everything in creation. And may all experience uninterrupted and everlasting bliss. Sat Chit Ananda, Asato Ma Satgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritam Tapaya. Actually, these 9 steps are nothing but the steps in the journey of moving from the unreal to the real, which is the truth, Sat, and removing the darkness of ignorance by bringing in the knowledge of awareness. And this awareness makes us immortal, makes us become one with that permanent truth of who we truly are. And that is the key to liberation, the key to Ananda. And in the end, this book gives the Atma Shatakam, the verses and the meaning of Atma Shatakam. So this is the small book with which I wanted to, start this whole session for these 40 days. And I'd like to end with the prayer at the end. Samast loka sukhino bhavantu, samast loka sukhino bhavantu, samast loka sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So that brings us close to day 1. I am sorry it kind of went a little longer than anticipated, but we'll keep it to 30 minutes from tomorrow onwards. But today I wanted to set the context of what we are going to do and where we are starting off.